And I'm Dave Erickson, live at Fairchild Air Force Base here in Airway Heights, where a few hours ago, nearly 100 members of the Washington Army National Guard's 81st Heavy Brigade Combat Team came home to a welcome home ceremony to a packed crowd, which included Governor Christine Gregoire. With a live band playing in the background, our soldiers, one by one, walked off the plane, down the stairs, to a Patriot Guard flanked on either side of them as they made their way inside, where friends and family members waited for them anxiously so they can get their hands around their loved ones, celebrating their safe return. It was back in April when I was in Iraq with the members of the same team, the 81st Brigade, 161st Infantry at Joint Base Balad. I was honored to document and report on their day-to-day activities while on base, and of course their convoy security missions outside the wire into the theater of Iraq. The 81st were mobilized in April of last year and made their way into Iraq in October. I know firsthand the great sacrifices they've made to their country, their fellow soldiers, and of course their loved ones back home. And quite a scene inside the hangar today as the kids, as the parents and friends waited so they can get their hands around their fathers.
You know, it really was amazing. One of the scenes I'll never forget, I saw a mom trying to hold back her son who was trying to go hug his dad as he came in the hangar as they got off the airplane. It really was an emotional day for everybody.
It's been really hard. Kind of gotten to see how it is to be a single parent.
Micah Johnson's been without a husband for a year. And Jaden Johnson, this little guy, he's only met his dad once.
The hardest part has been watching Jaden grow up and watching him learn new things every day and knowing that Chris isn't going to be able to experience that. Right?
This was her husband's third tour of duty, the third time she's waited for her husband, the third time she's wondered if he'll make it home okay.
It's exciting, but it's also kind of scary because I have to learn to share my house with the person again.
And as Micah and Jaden and nearly 100 other local families watched and waited through what they said seemed like an eternity, the hangar door finally opened, the band started playing, and they finally got to see the soldiers they'd all waited for.
Just missing him since he's born right when we left. Hopefully he gets to remember me after a while.
And as soldiers hugged their families for the first time in a long time, we heard the same thing over and over.
Glad to be home. Spokane's awesome.
Now, one of the things that one lady told me today, she said, you know, it's easy to think of the soldiers when they come home like this, when there's a big, ceremony like this welcoming them home. But she said the thing people don't realize are the lonely evenings, spouses and children spend while people are over there fighting for us. And I think that's something we all should remember today. And a lot of good guys back home. Some more coming home tomorrow, in fact. Yeah. So it was an emotional day for a lot of people. Another emotional day tomorrow as well.
Yeah, McKay. And just as emotional for the troops while in Iraq, a lot of downtime between missions, training, and thinking about their family members. Most of my time spent in Iraq was focused on Spokane members of the 161st Infantry, specifically Hotel Company. The primary objective was nighttime convoy security missions, basically providing protection for supply vehicles going from point A to point B, transporting food and water and various other supplies, most often under the cover of darkness. As far as those convoy security missions, they transported about 110 million gallons of fuel, 600,000 tons of supplies, and 120 million gallons of water throughout Iraq. A very difficult time to be so far away from family for so long, but now most of them are back home. And our next return of our soldiers should be tomorrow morning, approximately 9:20, and then one final batch on Saturday. All should be home of the 161st and 81st Heavy Brigade Combat Team by the 10th.